Hello, everyone here. This is Super EV Master. Welcome to the 2014 Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas race review here. But before I tackle into my possible race that you'll see in the future, or what I think may happen uh, on Saturday at Charlotte and the Goodyear situation and everything, let me just go through like the official order here. And Joe Logano wins the race. Larson second, Busch third, Truex fourth, Collins fifth, Newman sixth, Hamlin seventh, Austin Dillon 8th, Paul Menard 9th, Brian Vickers 10th, AJ Allmendinger 11th, 12th Kevin Harvick, 13th Matt Kenseth, 14th Jeff Gordon, 15th Greg Biffle, 16th Danica Patrick, 17th Stewart, 18th Boyer, Stenhouse Jr. 19th, Marcus Ambrose 20th, Landon Castle 21st, Kane 22nd, Witt 23rd, Annette 24th, Jamie McMurray 25th, Reed Sorensen 26th, David Beckham 27th, 13th Mears, 29th Yaley, Gilliland 30th, Almirola 31st, Bowman 32nd, Hill 33rd, Mike Wallace 34th, 35th, Michael McDowell 32nd, Brad Keselowski 37th, 36th, Brad Keselowski 37th, Joey Gase 38th, Josh Wise 39th, Dale Jr., 40th, Jim Johnson, 41st, Justin Allgaier, 42nd, Kurt Busch, and 43rd, Mike Lussier. Okay, so now that's here. So the race here. So obviously, I didn't take down too many notes here, but when we look at this race here, Harvick was on the pole. The 24, Jeff Gordon, the 9, Marcus Ambrose, and the 42, Kyle Larson, fastest in practices 1, 2, and 3. And early in the race, we saw quite a bit of contenders here. We saw McMurray have a strong car, and we saw Gordon have a strong car. They all laps here, and Harvick had a strong car as well. And then we had some green flag pit stops on lap around lap like 45. And then our first caution came out for debris, a restart happened, and then second caution came out for Kurt Busch hitting the wall. And then we had a caution here on lap 86, a multi-car crash here. And then Martin Truex. And then what I've also put here is that Martin Truex Jr. I believe that he possibly got his best career finish of the season. And they talked about before how Kansas has been one of his better tracks. And then so every once in a while we would have like a stretch of cautions, and then every once in a while we had like a stretch of like green flag runs. And then we saw another caution right here for Lear Dale Earnhardt Jr., who I believe at the moment led Dale Earnhardt Jr., who led, if I can find it or show here, who led 45 laps here, hit the wall. And when he hit the wall, I'm kind of surprised that like the guys in the booth were like, "Oh no, Dale Earnhardt Jr." Because it felt like it was almost as if like they were not like paying attention, or maybe they were just like speechless. I don't know here. And then shortly after we have Brad Keselowski, who was running fifth and hits the wall, which brought our fourth caution here. And then just to go along the safety, and then we had simply just like other choices like Harvick have issues, Kenseth have issues, and Kasey Kahne also hit the wall after leading some laps. And then eventually for a while, it eventually became the Joe Logano and Kyle Larson show right here. And I don't know. And Larson, I feel like I think Larson has the capabilities definitely to win a race. The problem is that there are just simply other drivers better than him. And I think at this rate, if Joe Logano is going to keep Logano and then eventually like Gordon and Keselowski are going to keep running the way they are, Larson is going to unfortunately have like a third place car, because he doesn't have like a third place car like automatically. He just unfortunately has competition that's like more experienced and faster than him. I would like to see Kyle Larson win. I would like to see Kyle Larson win before the end of Homestead, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So let's talk about scenario. Let's talk about the interesting things here. And please just hold on, just like one. And please just like hold on, just like 1 second here, because I'm trying to get to it. So major highlights of the race were, as I I can mention them. So as of right now, our bottom four is Casey Kane, Brad Keselowski, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson. I don't think like anyone at this point. I don't think not. I'm gonna assume that like most NASCAR fans did not expect Brad Keselowski and Jimmy Johnson to be in the bottom four of the points here. Jimmy Johnson. Where can I start here, Jimmy Johnson? Okay, Jimmy Johnson is my hair dryer here, but Jimmy Johnson and that 48 team, they have some problems that I think to address, and I said it in my live stream before he got involved in that crash. Now, obviously, that crash was not his fault. He was unfortunately a innocent bystander when that crash happened. But well, as to check my comments here. Okay, so look at here. So Jimmy Johnson, they have some problems that they need to address here. One, I don't know why Jimmy Johnson did not. Okay, Jimmy Johnson. Obviously, I had a feeling that he was going to crash. I had a feeling that he would be in the bottom four based on where things were running here. A couple times he was on the verge of going a lot down here. But Jimmy Johnson here, and if you're listening, and 48 if you're listening, please listen to what I have to say here. Why did you not take 2 tires? You had you had caution here, and you came down Denver Road with a bunch of other cars. Well, not a bunch of other cars, but you came down with the rest of the field here. Why did you not take 2 tires? I know it was like early in the race, so obviously 2 tires wouldn't affect that much. But if you took 2 tires, you would have been up front, and you would have not had gotten involved in that trouble. See, and that's the thing, because to be any reason, the 48 crew is like always 4 tires, always 4 tires, always 4 tires when they enter the road here. Why don't you ever take 2 tires here? Because I've noticed this since like, and I've been noticing this since like, 2011. The 48 team is always going to take 4 tires here. 4 tires, it is the fastest. It does seem to prove well in the long run. But if you start really far back, if you start in the back of the pack here, and if you're someone like Jimmy Johnson, you like have to take 2 tires to get to the front. It's technically a much more better way if you're going to want to win, if you're going to want to stay hungry in the chase here. Because to me, not taking 2 tires can easily be the difference between winning the championship and finishing like 12th in the point standings. So the 48 team has to stop always taking 4 tires here. If they start in the back at Charlotte, they're going to have to take 2 tires here because Charlotte could easily be a race like Kansas, and we could easily see like big crashes and huge chase implications here. 48 team, if you're listening, you have to use pit strategy. You have to take 2 tires. Okay, fine. So after that, sticking over here, let's talk about like Brad Keselowski here. Let's actually talk about Brad Keselowski and Dale Earnhardt here. Both had tire issues, and I put this in the comment of in both the like Brad Keselowski and Joe Logano thing. So obviously they had tire issues, and they were tire issues that were apparently out of their control. But and then of course some people went to the internet and went on the videos, and then when she said like, and then started like talking like trash about like Goodyear here, and when they interviewed the guy, like midway through the race, and he talked about like Brad Keselowski and Dale Earnhardt Jr. here, and he talked about like the chase. I made this comment for whatever reason. Here's what I wrote. For whatever reason, when they interviewed that guy, or people who work at Goodyear, I pick up the vibe that they just don't seem invested in changing their tires to prevent this. And they make. But the other thing here is that Goodyear, it's like every single year, and I don't know if this is like just like recently or if they've been doing this for like a long time here, but it's like every year and almost like every single track, I watch practices and then they always say like new tire here, how is it gonna work out? They're changing their tires every year at almost every single track, at almost like I won't say almost every single, but they change their tires like every year at many tracks. I don't know why Goodyear keeps on doing that. I don't know why Goodyear keeps on doing that when they use this new tire. I don't understand why why after the race is done and if we have no tire issues, I don't know why Goodyear has to like change it when there were like no tire problems. Why can't you just like keep like the tires like the same? Yeah, so I'll just say it again. Yeah, because guys like those don't really seem. I pick up like the vibe that guys like those just don't simply seem invested into changing tires here, and maybe yeah. So that's what happens here. But obviously, I did feel somewhat bad for Keselowski Jr. because I felt like that their championship hopes or good finishes should not be taken away by Goodyear not using their heads. And yeah, yeah, because I don't want because if Brad Keselowski is going to lose the championship, I don't want him to lose. I don't want him to lose the championship or get knocked out because he has tire issues. Issues are here. It almost makes me like wish like it almost makes me like wish that like it almost makes me wish like NASCAR and it almost makes me wish like NASCAR could make Brad Keselowski and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Not be not be like 22 and 25 points behind it. Instead like reset their points back at like 0 behind the leader. So that's what I really hope here. So and then so yeah. So I don't like what so I don't quite understand what like Goodyear's doing here, but I think at some point because and then I thought of this like after the race was like over, and it's like so I wonder if like NASCAR should like change their tires here. I don't know what tires Indy cars use, but I wonder if like the company who makes the tires for Indy cars should make stock car version tires for NASCAR maybe because to me because Goodyear has gotten like a lot of attention this year. You know, we saw tire problems. We saw like 20, not 20, but we saw like more than like 10 tire problems at Auto Club that yeah, yeah. So my advice for Goodyear is stop changing tires every year at almost every single racetrack. And now I gotta talk about the winner here of Joe Logano here. So Logano wins the race. I wasn't really shocked about it, uh, because I pretty much saw like once like because I pretty much saw like okay, so once like Logano started, so once like Logano I saw Hamilton only got like started fourth, and after seeing drivers like Keselowski Jr., Harvick all struggle here, that I thought eventually Logano would eventually win this race, and he did. So no stress on him, Talladega here. And Logano compared to his teammate. Compared to his teammate Keselowski, and compared to most drivers in the chase, he's actually performing at the level of someone who actually deserves to win the champion more than Brad Keselowski and more than like Jack Brown and Kevin Harvick because that 22 team they may not always like win like all the races here, but Logano is but Logano has kept his car clean. But Logano has kept his car clean, been racing hard, working hard, and it's all working for him. So I wouldn't be shocked at all if Logano won his first championship. And at this point, I'm almost kind of like rooting for Logano at this point. Even though technically, if Keselowski could get a win or just seriously or like another run at like Charlotte or Talladega right here, I can start reconsidering him as someone to possibly take the championship away here. But I think maybe I just thought of this. Maybe when NASCAR should maybe for next year, maybe for like next year's like chase slogan, it should be like you think that they're safe, but then they're not, or whatever, something like that. I think that'd be a cool chase slogan, I would say. But anyway, so let's talk about. Anyway, so after watching that like whole entire race, like after watching that like 3 hours of a race here, I don't know, the race at Kansas, it wasn't obviously like boring. Well, never mind. I'll actually get to that. Well, no, actually, I'll actually get to that moment here, but because I actually described and I posted this comment in all 6 of the NASCAR videos uploaded today that This race, I would describe this race as I would describe this race. I would describe this race as I would describe this race as being on a new roller coaster, and but okay, so I would describe this race as you get on a new roller coaster, but you get sick every time you get on a roller coaster. So and then the roller coaster just started, and you don't know where the roller coaster is going to go. That's how I feel this race, and that's how I feel with the point system. Honestly, I believe I said earlier that I wouldn't be like shocked or surprised to see someone like Johnson or Keselowski be in the bottom four and possibly get eliminated after Talladega. But I kind of felt like that. I wasn't expecting it to all like kind of I mean, so quickly because a lot happened in this race. To me, there was almost like so much like drama in the race that I started to feel kind of like I started to feel kind of like stressed. I started to feel kind of bored. I started to feel kind of like excited for next week. I don't know. I started my emotions just kind of like went everywhere when I watched this race right here, and because now all of a sudden a lot of people are going to be talking about like Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, and Ryan Newman, which are three drivers that some NASCAR fans thought those would be three of the four eliminated after this round. But now it looks like possibly it looks like that like okay so if you take the like eight drivers if you take the like eight drivers that are safe here and so if you take like the like eight drivers safe here and take Logano out, I think out of those like seven of the eight, I would say like as of right now as of like right now I would say like Kyle Busch is definitely like a lock for getting into the next round here. I don't know if I'll be able to like say it about anyone else. And the reason I say Kyle Busch is because on Saturday we're going to Charlotte Moore Speedway. Charlotte Moore Speedway is one of Kyle Busch's most mile half races. He's won a lot in the H1 races there. So I think Kyle Busch, I think he'll do pretty well at Charlotte, and he'll be enough points ahead to where even if he wrecks at like Talladega, he still will not have to be too worried because I think he'll still make it into the chase here. So yeah. So yeah, and when it comes to points here, when it comes to like winning at Charlotte, I think definitely the pressure is on Johnson, Keselowski, Kane, and Junior here, but and I also say Jeff Warren here because man, Kendrick Motorsports did not have like a good day like at all today. So Hendrick Motorsports Hendrick Motorsports needs to stop the bleeding here because I feel like that we've had like a lot of races this year where Hendrick Motorsports all four drivers have had like bad where all four drivers have done like terribly in like one race here. So I think Kendrick Motorsports needs to figure out like what's going wrong, and I feel like Kendrick Motorsports at this point should start spending a lot of time on like pit strategy. Because I think at the end of the day, pit strategy is going to be the outcome of getting to the next round and getting to the final round, and use pit strategy at Homestead to help you win a championship. So I believe in that. But now I want to talk about Chicagoland right here. What did I just say? I said Chicagoland. I missed Charlotte. Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Bank of America 500. Interesting fact. The 2007 Bank of America 500. The 2007 Bank of America 500 was actually the first full NASCAR race I ever watched, and it was back in 2007 here. And now 7 more years later, this race will mark the like 8th year anniversary of me watching full NASCAR races. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. So in Charlotte here, I already said like Kyle Busch. I think he's definitely going to be a favorite here, and even though they are far back in the points here, I would definitely watch out. I would definitely watch out for Jimmy Johnson because he won the Coca-Cola 600. Matt Keselowski won that race 1 year ago. Casey Kane has won there in the past. Dale Earnhardt Jr. I think he will be someone. I think he will be someone to watch for, even though his last win at Charlotte was I believe the 2000 All-Star race. I think he'll have a strong car there, and I think Jeff Gordon, he's won at Charlotte a couple times, so I think all 400 drivers are going to be drivers to watch for. But when it comes to our drivers, I can't really think of it anymore. I can't really think of anyone else that I would like to possibly put on that on the list as compares here. But I think either way, I'm predicting Charlotte. I'm predicting that Charlotte, we will see a chaser win, and hopefully another chaser will punch a spot and not have to worry about the Talladega race. I said heading into this round that this round has probably out of all 4 rounds the most potential to shake at the points standings and look at what happened after Kansas. It'll be very interesting to see how the points will shake out after Charlotte and then Talladega, and then we'll have our 8 drivers. Anyway, that's pretty much all I really want to say. So for anyone who is watching, thank you for watching this race. But I think before I go, I'm just gonna. I think as right now, I think even though he crashed early, I think based off his recent success at Charlotte and that when back in May, I think that Jimmy Johnson will win that race. I predict that he'll win it, and we'll just see what happens here. Anyway, thank you for watching this race review. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and bye.